All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into what is, without a doubt, the single biggest financial fraud in history. It's a wild story about trust, greed, and a number that is just, well, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Yeah, $66 billion. I mean, that's the kind of number that just breaks your brain, right? And this wasn't money that got lost in some bad market bet. No, it just vanished. Poof. An entire fortune built on nothing but lies, all orchestrated by one guy, Bernard Madoff. So you gotta ask, right? How on earth did one guy pull this off? How did he fool thousands of the world's savviest investors, sharpest regulators, and even entire governments into thinking he was some kind of financial wizard? Okay, so to really get our heads around this thing, we've got to start with the man himself, the architect of the whole deception. Who was Bernie Madoff? You see, Madoff was a master at living two completely different lives. On one hand, you had the public face. He was Wall Street royalty, a self-made legend, the former chairman of the NASDAQ. But behind the scenes, well, that's where the real business was happening. He was running a massive money laundering operation for some seriously powerful and dangerous people. And this is where it gets really, really smart. He knew that to get to the big money, especially the dirty money, you don't knock on the front door, nope. You go to the accountants, the gatekeepers, the people who really control the flow of cash. This whole playbook, it's just brilliant in a really dark way. I mean, look at steps 2 and 3 here. He'd take their money and then secretly use his own money to make sure they got a big, fast profit. He was happy to lose a little bit of his own cash up front. Why? Because the real prize wasn't making a few bucks on a stock trade. The goal was to look like a magician, a financial genius who could not lose. And that reputation, that was his golden key to a hidden world of unimaginable wealth. Now, for all his genius, Madoff wasn't exactly reinventing the wheel. He was just perfecting it. His whole scam was built on 2 classic schemes that have been around forever. So to really get what he did, we need to break down the original blueprints. Okay, first up, the classic Ponzi scheme. It's actually pretty simple when you boil it down. You promise amazing returns and you pay off your first investors with money you get from your new investors. As long as more and more people keep putting money in, it looks like a legitimate, successful business. But it's all just smoke and mirrors. And if you look at the original guy, Charles Ponzi, his story shows you the one thing that brings these schemes crashing down every single time. It's what's called a bank run. The second too many people ask for their money back at once, the whole illusion shatters, because there's no real money there to give them. All right, now let's talk about its close cousin, the pyramid scheme. This one's a little different. With a Ponzi, you're just an investor, but with a pyramid scheme, you become part of the fraud. You're not selling a product, not really. You're selling the opportunity to other people. Basically, you're recruiting. And you can see how this seems so tempting, right? All you have to do is get 5 of your friends to sign up, and then they get 5 of their friends. It seems simple enough. But the problem is, the growth isn't just steady, it's exponential. And the math, well, the math just falls apart fast. And boom, there it is. That's the fatal flaw. After just 15 rounds of this, you'd need 12 billion recruits. That's more people than are alive on planet Earth. It's why every single pyramid scheme is mathematically guaranteed to fail. You just run out of people. So that brings us back to Bernie. See, he wasn't just a copycat. He was an artist of fraud. He took the Ponzi scheme, he took the pyramid scheme, and he blended them together to create something, well, something far more believable and destructive. This right here was his secret weapon. Unlike Charles Ponzi, who was just some guy, Madoff was legit. Or at least he looked legit. He was the former chairman of the NASDAQ, for crying out loud. His real, respected Wall Street firm was the perfect front. It was a giant shield of credibility that hid the crime happening right behind it. So let's really look at how he put the pieces together. The promise of amazing, steady returns, that's pure Ponzi scheme 101, using new money to pay old investors. But how did he get that new money? Through a pyramid-style recruitment network, using those accountants he'd won over to keep feeding new clients into the system. It was the perfect storm of fraud, all disguised as an exclusive, high-end investment fund. And it just exploded. We're talking about 450,000 people. He got so big, so exclusive, that he actually started making people apply to give him their money. Can you believe that? He made them feel lucky to be scammed. It was a brilliant psychological trick that just poured gasoline on the fire.
But like we said, these things can't last. They're built on a lie, the lie of infinite growth. Madoff's empire was a massive, glittering house of cards. And in 2008, the world economy started to cough, and that little gust of wind was all it took.
You see, the 2008 crash was the ultimate bank run. The whole world was panicking, and Madoff's investors, like everyone else, wanted their money out. They tried to withdraw something like $7 billion. The problem? The money was never there. It was never invested. It was just being shuffled around. The vault was empty. And just like that, the biggest lie in financial history was exposed.
And the fallout, it wasn't just financial. It was deeply, tragically human. These numbers here, they represent real people. Families who lost everything they had ever worked for. Charities that helped thousands of people just vanished overnight. And the despair was so great that, dozens of people took their own lives.
I mean, just look at who he fooled. It wasn't just regular folks. He duped the biggest banks in the world. He duped governments. He duped the U.S. Federal Reserve. And the craziest part? The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, they audited him in 2004 and gave him a clean bill of health. He even fooled his own sons, who worked with him every single day.
So, wow. After all that, what do we take away from this? What's the lesson here that can help us, not get fooled ourselves? What's kind of mind-blowing is that Madoff's scam had every single red flag you're taught to look for. The biggest one, promising huge, steady profits no matter what the market is doing. That just doesn't happen. Real investing has risk. Markets go up and they go down. If something sounds too good to be true, it is, period. And really, it all boils down to this. You can't just blindly trust someone, no matter how impressive their reputation is. It's your money. You have to be the one to do the research, ask the tough questions, and make the final call. Your financial security is in your hands, nobody else's.
And that kind of leaves us with a pretty chilling thought, doesn't it? Bernie Madoff is gone, but the playbook he used, the psychology, the tactics, they're still out there. It's a powerful and frankly scary reminder that when it comes to your money, being vigilant isn't just a smart move, it's your only real defense.